Hi friends, so what I am canning today is onion jam. It has fig infused balsamic vinegar, sugar, crushed red pepper flakes, a little bit of salt, and black pepper. It is absolutely delicious, and I'm just about done cooking it all down in my Instapot, and I'm gonna get ready to start canning it up. So the first thing you want to do whenever you're canning anything, whether it's in a water bath or in a pressure canner, is you want to just make sure whatever jars you're using are completely washed and rinsed thoroughly, along with the lids and the rings. So everything in here has been washed. I'm just going to drain this water out. And then I'm going to rinse all these and put them on my table. And then I'll show you what we are going to water bath today. Okay, so now that all of my jars are thoroughly cleaned and rinsed, I'm just going to keep them in the sink. And this is a little over room temperature water, so it's not boiling hot, but it's very warm, so I just want the jars to stay nice and warm. Yeah, so and then over here I have my washed lids. Okay, so I got interrupted by a couple of phone calls, but I filled my jars. And because this is like a jam, you really don't need to do this. I'm just doing this in case. I'm leaving about a half an inch of a headspace at the top of the jar. This is going to be water canned, like a water bath in my Nesco. I'm not going to be adding any liquid to this. I just wanted to make sure that... Oh, sorry, I'm bouncing the camera. Didn't realize that. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a paper towel. And I'm going to wipe off these rims really well. I forgot to bring my vinegar down, so I'm just doing it with warm water. Make sure there's nothing on the rim at all where it's going to seal. And then I'm going to take one of my clean lids and the rings. And I know I have a busted finger. It looks funny, but I'm just going to do this finger tight like that. Put that to the side. Let's clean off this next one. And you guys, this onion jam is absolutely delicious. I used to make it years ago, but I didn't have regular balsamic vinegar, so I had balsamic vinegar that has fig in it, so it's fig infused. It is so good. So the recipe is so easy. You caramelized onions, you add your sugar, you add balsamic vinegar, and then I added some crushed red pepper flakes, just a tiny bit, for like that sweet heat. It is delicious. So my niece Megan just called me, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, I'm making and canning, I should say, my onion jam. She goes, "Ew, onion jam? What the heck is an onion jam?" I go, "You use it on like with cheese and crackers, like on a crudité, a charcuterie board." I said, you know, so many different ways. I could put this on hamburgers, on hot dogs. I said, you could do a lot with it. And she goes, "Oh, it just sounds so disgusting." So I told her she was disgusting. No, I'm only kidding. I didn't say that. She's weird. She's a weird child. She only likes pizza, penne alla vodka, chicken nuggets, mashed potatoes, chicken cutlets, And that's basically her diet. So, I mean, I would definitely make her try this. And I like these jars that are jeweled, I think they call them. Because look how pretty that is out on a nice board. So, absolutely love it. I only got 2, 4, 5 jars. I was hoping to get at least 6 or 7, but nope. Next time I'll have to peel a lot more onions. These were actually onions that I took from my mother's that started to grow with all of the eyes and everything. So I just took them from her house, cut off all of that part, kept what was good, and then added another 3-pound bag of onions to it. And I used some onions the other night in my husband's pork chop. Oh, what am I doing? In my husband's pork chop meal. And then, what else did I use onions for? Oh, I made myself a cheeseburger one night and I put onions on it. So I did use maybe about this much so far, so I would have had an extra jar to can up, but make sure this is nice and clean and nothing's on it. And these are all brand new jars, but you still want to feel around it. Make sure there's no, you know what, I'm not going to use that lid. Use that lid. And just finger tight. That means with your fingers when it can't go anymore, so you don't want to put your whole wrist into it. All right, so now that those are all canned up, I'll show you what's next. Okay, so I have my 5 jars in there, and because I don't want them bouncing all around when it's boiling, I put 2 dummy jars in there. So it's the same size jar, just filled with water, and there's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of water on top of this. I might put just one more, because I think it's about 1 inch, so yeah, I'll put a little bit more water. You want to make sure that all your jars are covered with the same amount of water. You have to be on a level space here. And let me add the other thing of water, and then I'll show you how to set it up. So I put another thing of water in. Now you just want to close your lid all the way so it's nice and tight over here. Okay, this light, I got to figure out the lighting down here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm downstairs in my basement kitchen. All right, so it's all the way tight. When you start it, you want this to be on exhaust. So there's 2 exhaust and 1 airtight. So it's on exhaust. And now for the front. Oh, you know what? Let me just check. Hold on. I just want to check the seal in here. You want to go around and make sure that the seal is completely a-okay. Looks good. Reclose it. It's on exhaust. Now, because I'm at an elevation of under 1,000 feet, I'm using the black thing on top. It also comes with a green one, and if you're above 1,000 feet elevation, you need to use the green dial. So I have the black dial because I'm actually only at 24 feet elevation. I live actually very close to the water. So now we're going to hit water bath, and then the time is 10 minutes, and I'm gonna hit start. Now this little racetrack thing is going to go around and around and around, and when it starts boiling and it starts letting off some steam, I'll show you what to do next. So while my onion jam is processing, I decided to put in a few racks of my cilantro. because it's been in my refrigerator for like a week, and before it goes bad, it's still nice and beautiful. I'm going to dehydrate it, and then I will put it, chop it up, put it in a jar, or I will blend it and make a cilantro powder out of it that I can throw into salsa, or I can throw into my ground beef when I'm making tacos. So yeah, so I got that going a while. Okay, so now you can't see it, but there is a steady stream of steam right now, which means that it's boiling. So now the only thing I have to do is press start again. And now it's going to start counting down the 10 minutes to process it. Now you don't want to turn the valve to airtight. That's only with pressure canning. When you're doing a water bath, you leave the valve where it is. And then once the 10 minutes is up, it's going to count the 10 minutes down. Once the 10 minutes is up, then you'll see when there's no more steam coming out at all, that's when you're going to open your lid and take out your jars. So we're going to let this count down, and I'll show you the rest. I wish you could see the steam. I don't know if you could see it or not. Maybe you can see it a little bit in the back. So yeah, so that's going to count down to 0. And then we're just going to let it totally exhaust itself where there's no steam whatsoever. And then it'll be ready to open. So the 10 minutes is up, and now it beeped and it went to off. Now I'm just going to wait until all that steam totally stops before I can open up the lid. I'll probably let them sit in there for about another 10-15 minutes before I take them out and put them on my placemat here. You never want to put your jars right onto the table, especially this table, because it is a tile table and it's quite cool down here, because that'll be like a shock to your jars and they could possibly crack. So you always want to make sure you put them on a towel or a placemat or something, even a wire rack, that you're not putting them directly on a cold surface. I picked up these at a thrift store, and they're double lined, so they're double thick. And yeah, I think I paid like 49 cents for them. So I got quite a few of them, and now they're coming in handy. And it's actually only been about a half hour, but my cilantro is wilting very, very nicely. And yeah, should be dehydrated totally probably in about 2 or 3 hours, where it just crumbles, and I could make either the cilantro powder out of it in my Vitamix blender, or I can simply just crush it all up and put it in a jar and seal it airtight with my with my little gadget that I have that takes all the air. It vacuums the air out of the jars. So I haven't decided what I'm gonna do, but whatever I decide to do, I will definitely show you. Okay, so there's absolutely no more steam coming out at all. And I waited about another 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. And now I can twist it to the open and open up the lid. And you want to open it up slowly to get the rest of that steam out. You don't want all that steam in your face. And there you have it. I'm still going to wait for this to stop the actual full boil. It's still boiling before I take them out. I don't want the jars to get shocked because it is a little chilly down in my basement. I can turn the heater on, but I didn't want to do that. I have a little space heater down here in the kitchen. So I'm just going to let this rest for a little bit, and then I'll show you how I take them out. Hopefully we hear that pop, pop, pop on the top of the lids. Oops. I just hit the tripod. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so the boiling has totally stopped. So what I'm going to do now is just get my can grabber here. And one by one, I'll start taking these jars out. Now, even though there's water on the top of the jars, you never want to tilt your jar. That will eventually evaporate and come off. So you just want to take them, pull them straight up and put them straight down. It's hard to do when you have a bum finger. So straight up and straight down. Let me just get the other two. Now hopefully we start hearing some popping. Right now I could see that this one still has the bump, that has the bump. That one's sealed. I want to try to get the popping on camera, if I can. Because I know the minute I turn it off, they're going to go pop. And I'm going to miss it. And you always want to hear that pop. And then I'm just going to let these sit for about 24 hours on here. I'll cover them with another one of these placemats. And then tomorrow I will open them up and make sure that they're sealed. You want to wait until they're completely cooled to do that. So you don't want to take the lids off right now. You know, the outer rings. Yeah, I think these two are the only two that haven't completely sealed yet. You could tell by tapping it, the different noise. Like, hear that? Yeah, so these three are sealed and these two are not. So let's see if they even seal. Oh, there it goes. That was a pop. Now that one's popped. Now we just have to wait for that. It's a beautiful sound to someone who cans their foods. So it should be any second now. But I'll double check them tomorrow. I'll film that, and just to see if all of them processed properly. So I'll bring you back tomorrow. Okay, so it is the next morning, and I took the rings off. I did have them covered with another placemat there, and every single one sealed. So you know that they are good to go when you pick them up by the lid, and the lid does not come off. So that is my beautiful onion jam with fig infused balsamic vinegar, sugar, and a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes, salt and pepper. Absolutely delicious. I think I'm going to make a whole bunch of these, especially in these beautiful jars, and give them as Christmas gifts. What a nice homemade gift to give. Now in my Nesco Smart Canner, I just put in white potatoes, cubed. And I left them in kind of big chunks. I didn't cut them small. And I put them in pint-sized jars, which is just enough for one serving. So you can use them, you know, any way you would use regular potatoes once you cook them. And that's all I added to my potatoes was one half a teaspoon of salt to each jar. So I just started that, though. It takes 35 minutes on pressure can. And what do you call it? Yeah, so that's what I'm doing for today. And I probably, after this batch, because it's early in the morning, I will probably get some ground beef made up in jars that I could just make a quick chili or something, make a quick meal for my husband. So yeah, so after the potatoes, I think I'm going to do some ground beef. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscription button. Please hit that notification bell. And please like my videos. It really gives me, you know, a heads up. Not a heads up. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it really helps me out on my channel. That's what I meant to say. So, yeah, I appreciate it. And, yeah, I'm a fairly new canner. And I have tried out a whole bunch of things before I decided to start videoing. So as I get, you know, I'm just doing small batches. So I'm not like one of these homestead people that are canning like 600 jars of spaghetti sauce or pasta sauce at one time. So if you want to become a new canner and you just want to do in small batches like me, then stay tuned because I'll show you exactly, I'll give you the recipes and you can can along with me in small batches. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.